Hey, welcome back to Wise Guys podcast on Via Arabia. I'm Ali.
I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Qatar.
Hey, please do hit subscribe if you're new. We're trying to grow out this platform. But listen, today we're joined by a teaching juggernaut. Not only is he the head of business and ICT at his school, but he's also an ECT coordinator. On top of that, he's also the lead for teaching and learning. Having been in Qatar for 6 years and having over a decade of a teaching experience, amidst his busy schedule, he has found some time to actually sit with us today. It's Yusuf! Let's go!
Yes,
I'll be honest with you, that's a big introduction, man.
Yeah?
I appreciate that.
Come on, yeah. Hey, that's our thing now, yeah? We do nice little introductions.
Yeah.
But you deserve it. You deserve it as well. You deserve it, man.
Thank you for coming on. Hey, before we start though, this is something we ask all our guests, okay? It's a big question. Like we might have to end this right here.
I believe in you, Yusuf. I believe in you.
Messi or Ronaldo?
That's a question I ask students on the way into school.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one for me,
Yeah.
Cristiano.
Hey, let's go.
Cristiano.
All my life,
what
I
are
thought
you?
he was going to say Messi.
Shut
All my life, I thought he was going to say
What are
Messi.
you? Messi.
Messi.
And you?
Me, Ronaldo, man. Come on.
Ali?
Come on.
Let's
Do you
end
know
the
what?
episode.
Do you know what? I do that when the students are walking on the way into school and I'm on the gate and I just ask them quick questions. Messi or Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Majority of them say Ronaldo.
Come on.
They
just
don't know.
being
They don't
real.
know football
Majority
though.
say
Let's be
Ronaldo.
real.
Why do you think they say Ronaldo?
I don't know. I think maybe he's had more of an impact, maybe worldwide, I'd say. But I personally, I think Messi and Ronaldo, you can't really, it's a choose 'em kind of thing. I don't like to choose them, but when I'm forced to, I have to choose Cristiano.
Come on.
I know why they choose Ronaldo, man.
Why?
Come on. You're a kid. You're growing up. Who do you want to be? Ronaldo or Messi? Just look at Ronaldo, man.
Messi.
He's the epitome of an alpha male. Come on, bro.
But you got that celebration as well.
Oh, yes.
And all the
yes.
kids, when they score that goal on the playground, they do the sue.
He's the poster child of football, let's be
There you
honest.
go. Simple as that.
What?
Hey, I saw Messi lift the World Cup, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, my opinion matters.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. All I'm going to say, Yusuf's a baller. So I thought he would have went with Messi. But you went with the opposite.
Nah, because Ronaldo, he symbolizes something different: hard work, dedication. He never had those, the raw,
Talent.
natural talent that Messi had from being real young. So that I side with that.
But do you know what I always say though? Messi's talented, yeah? We know that. But he puts in 110% in terms of his efforts. But he just doesn't post on Insta.
Yeah.
He doesn't post random stories. To get it? He's behind the scene type of guy.
Let me go a bit.
That's
left
what
in
I
this.
think.
Let me change the topic. Not topic, but like a bit of scenario. Speaking of ballers, the first football session when I had in Qatar, man, I got invited by Yusuf and it was August. The weather's like 37 degrees Celsius. I breathe, I'm sweating. I don't know if I'm crying or sweating. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I see a long ball come from the sky. Whew. Everybody's panicking. I see Yusuf look at it. Bah! One touch Zidane.
Yeah?
I said,
Hey.
That's Zidane. You see?
Yeah.
You know what?
that one touch.
Was that Saturday football?
No, it was Monday football.
Monday football.
Monday football. Yeah,
That day, I said to myself, I ain't got the techers, so I have to play like Henderson. Fam. I have
Just
to
do the running.
just running, fam. Just run for Yusuf, man. That's it.
football in this country is not for the light-hearted, especially in August. I remember the first time we played, and I remember just like on my knees after like 10, 15 minutes and just watching sweat drip down my
literally.
arm onto my leg, and I was thinking, this is not a joke.
It's crazy.
This is not for the light-hearted.
I've seen my shins, the shins sweat. I've never seen that before. My shins sweating.
That's
man.
come from
Yeah.
from behind your leg.
The bones are sweating. Not even the skin, the bones are sweating, man. It's crazy.
Ahmed sweat from half his face.
Half
as well,
his
mate.
face as well. I don't know.
Hey, but this time he sweat full face.
Full face. That day is full face.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
actually, nah. Like, even that day was half. Like, I got weird condition. I need
bro.
to sort it out, man.
Not for the light-hearted, but we run Saturday sessions as well. Do you remember the morning
yeah, the
sessions
Saturday
on
mornings.
Saturday?
I remember the first
10
time.
a.m. on
Yeah.
a Saturday. We had some good turnouts.
It was a good
working
little
the
session.
heat. Because you know what? What I realized was when we play football here, we're always playing in the night.
Yeah.
We're always playing 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And in the UK, you're used to playing daylight hours.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let's see how many people we can get together to play on a morning session.
It was
And
nice.
we started off with good numbers.
Yeah.
Slowly.
It's dwindling, yeah?
Yeah, dwindling. He used to be sleeping. Banging off his phone.
No.
That happened.
But don't you think it was a bit crazy
Yeah,
a bit delusional to
We
play
used to-
football in
yeah,
that weather.
Yeah, but we
was
had
mad.
we took precautions, so we had a cooler with us every time, ice there,
Yeah.
water.
Fair enough, yeah.
What do you call it? Calypsos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you remember the days we used to go to Oxygen Park,
Yes.
do you remember the little air-conditioned rooms they used to have on the side?
Oh, yes.
So
Run in
if you
there.
play there, we take a little break every 20, 30 minutes. You run in there, relax, get a little cool air, run
back out.
Good days.
Football in
Good days.
Qatar is different.
Nah, it's
Yeah,
mad.
man.
It's
Different.
mad.
But,
It gets your fitness up for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
And if you want to lose some pounds, just
Get start
on.
running around. Yeah.
Hey, so just for context, Yusuf and Ahmed used to work together.
Yes.
Hey, listen, football. What do you think of Ahmed and football? Yeah, give us a little verdict.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Ahmed. No, I wouldn't take the mick like that. Ahmed's got when he's on my team, and if he's given a clear role, clear instruction, Ahmed does his job, man. And,
Nah, hey.
and he's got a shot on him.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
underrated. It's
That-
underrated.
Hey, there's no taking a mick, man. Ahmed's a serious baller, you know.
Yeah,
we call him
yeah.
Somali charisma.
Somali charisma.
He's got that Trivella.
Yeah. On the
Unlocked.
smash.
But let me speak. Do you know what I like? I like playing against Yusuf, not with him.
Oof.
Why? No, let me tell you. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
A lot of people feel that way.
No, there's no beef. Look, you know what? I'm in this team. I look at Yusuf. I'm thinking, you know what? He's gonna handle. I could chill. But against his team, the trash talk he gives you, the arguments, gets me going, man. I love
Nah,
that.
do you know what's bad about playing against him?
Yeah.
Because he's so nonchalant with it. You run at him, he'll pass it around you, and there's a gap behind you. That I can't lie. I give him credit for that one. He can play. He can find space. And you're running.
Hey.
And you're like, where the hell did the ball go?
I've found Madders a few times in the end, in the final third, but Madders.
Oh, yeah.
You know, since the summer, I don't know what happened to Madders over the summer. You know that Space Jam. I mean, take the powers, the pre-summer Madders, I call him the Somali Ronaldo. He used to have that, that Ronaldo.
Ronaldo top.
He come back after the summer.
Nah, don't do
It
that.
took the power from him. I
I
don't
can't lie,
what
you know
they
what? It's all this food in Qatar, man.
But you got injured as well, innit?
Yeah, I had like a sports hernia as well.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering from that. But soon
Inshallah.
come, inshallah.
He started to come back now last few weeks.
Yeah,
He's
you
doing
know,
well. He's
you know,
doing
Why
yeah.
is a baller?
Madders.
Hey, but you guys mentioned trash talking. Tell me a bit more about that. I know my boy's good at trash talking, but what's going on here? Hey.
You know what? Big bro gets into it.
Oh,
You know,
Big Bro.
I've seen him do the whole like that.
Remember
when
when
he
we-
scores a goal, right? He'll run in your face. You know, his character changes. You know, when he gets onto the pitch. But I think everyone's like that.
It's
Once you
good,
cross the
isn't
white
it?
line,
That competitiveness.
Yeah.
There's one time we were playing. I don't know if you remember, my man. We were playing. I must have flicked it over. I was about to run. Man just grabbed me. Bro, like grabbed me. I pulled my shirt. I'm thinking, big bro. He's like, oh, what? It's a game.
Do you know the funniest one was when after the win, it was maybe a couple months back, and these lot started adopting the dark arts. They've been watching Arteta. They've been watching Arsenal and Arteta, yeah. And they started doing some dark arts. The ball's off the side of the pitch, kicking the ball away. Goalkeeper, goal kick. One of them's come to take the goal kick now. Next one takes it. Next one, and then the goalkeeper's actually taking it 2 minutes later after us. But you know what?
That's what
these
happens.
These lot were desperate. those times.
No, but he used to pluck all the ballers in his team, man. I look at Yusuf one day. I remember this one day, man. I came to football, right, and I see his team warming up. I looked at my team. I see the misfits. The misfits. Like he said, you were talking about Space Jam, right? When you look, then when you see Bugs Bunny,
You said the Unitunes.
I look like I see Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Tasman. I was like, yo. And I look at his team, fam, ballers, fam.
Yeah?
All
The
blacked out as
Bucksters.
well, fam. I was like, nah. I need to play like a waste man today, bro. I'm not having this.
What did you do?
We won, fam.
You know what? You know what? We have some good games, man. We've had some good games over the years. It's good fun. All the brothers come together.
Yeah.
It's good, man. And it happens every week as well. So I like that, man. I like that. And you meet, the good thing about it is
Networking.
the networking. Even the Saturday, when I started coming to that Saturday, after the session, we'll go for like a little munch, like a breakfast. Because it's still
Yeah.
early, so we'll go for like a
That was
breakfast.
nice.
It was nice, man. And
We
you get to meet other
cancelled
people.
football some of the times and just went for breakfast. That's when Ahmed used to attend regularly. He'd text the group and say, okay, how about cancelling football? We
I'll
just
meet you
go
lot
for
there.
breakfast.
Hey.
But yeah, there was good times,
was
man.
good,
It
man.
was nice. I think you need that, especially in Qatar. You're away from your families.
Yeah.
You've left your friendship groups back in the UK. You need to have that something there, something social, regular, with good people, like-minded people.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's nice, especially when you come over new.
Yeah.
You need to be introduced to people that are kind of like-minded. So,
100%.
so that was kind of the idea of Saturday football as well. We used to invite anyone, basically, anyone who wanted to come, who was willing to wake up at
That
10 a.m.
stupid o'clock
and
by
get
the
that
way.
heat.
You know what's crazy as well? At the time, I used to live all the way in Lucelle.
You used to drive down,
I used to
Yeah.
drive all the way down.
That's
to
commitment.
the session, man. It was good. It was worth it, man. It was worth it.
You mentioned Arteta Dark Arts. What team do you support?
The team that is the most successful in the Premier League era.
Chelsea.
The team that has given us, the team that flies the flag for the UK in Europe, the team that is most well known worldwide in the UK.
This guy.
There's only one team.
This guy.
Manchester United.
Manchester
Nah,
United.
serious. Hey, let's
United
go.
as
Yeah,
well.
come on.
I can see the success on his
Hey,
face.
come on, hey,
you see how
hey.
depressed these look. You see these look all upset,
hearing
depressed. You see this brother here, he's got success dripping
I
from
was
him.
smiling. You know
You're
what I'm
like
saying?
crazy. Where you like the Premier League?
My team is like relegation's over. I'm still happy. You know what?
exactly.
You can't buy a
Stick
success,
on
man.
these, man.
Can't buy success.
You know what?
Chelsea tried. You can't do
That was a beautiful introduction, but you're just covering. You're just covering the mess of a club that you are right now. That's what you man are doing.
You know what it is? You can't monopolize football like that. You have to give other teams a chance, and we'll just take a break for a little while, but we'll be back. I've got a lot of
How
faith.
long's a while though? We're talking nearly 10 years, no?
And no one's caught up yet. That's crazy.
Caught up. And you know what's funny? Is it's about what you determine as success, because even in that period, we've still won more trophies than Arsenal, still
Sad
won
times.
trophies than Chelsea,
No.
just as many. Fact check it.
Don't talk about that, Chelsea,
fact
please.
Fact check it. But we're being judged against our own standards, not other team standards. So against our own standards, we're not doing great. But against your standards,
No.
We're still-
There's.
I support Liverpool, not Arsenal.
Top
man.
of the league. You can't really talk to him right
Liverpool.
now.
Well, by the way, speaking of your link at United, I'm thinking, is it like a leadership thing to support United? Because
It might
my
be.
old school in the UK, my head of department supported United. My other school, when I was doing my ECT program as well, United. So, and you two are both heads of department. Like, what's going on there, man? It's like a cult going on.
I think it might be a characteristic trait that you choose the right team. You're on the path to success. You're on the path to leadership. You know what you're doing. You chose the right team.
Fair enough.
Talking that shit, how does it feel? You guys are both HODs.
I'll start with Yusuf. What do you think?
For me, when I first arrived there 6 years ago, I wasn't the HOD. I think similar to yourself. And then I became the HOD after a year. I relished the role. I think one of the things that was taught to me by the previous HOD was you got to look after the staff. You got to take into account that people are coming from all over the world. It's not just about embedding teaching and learning strategies. It's not about just embedding practices within school. It's about looking after them holistically, looking after them. They've just come from another country. You have to look at the whole picture, because if they're not happy in their lives, in the country, they're not going to be able to perform in the workplace. So I think that's one of the things that always stuck by me, and I always try to do with the staff, make them feel at home. Even people from other departments,
course.
that they're home in our department.
100%.
So we try to do that. So I think that's one of the most important things.
But I think that trait comes naturally as well. But Ahmed did tell me when he first came to the country, you were one of the first people that, brought him in. You made him feel at home, really took him, I guess, in certain, like under your wing. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
you made
100%.
So he's always been appreciative of that.
He literally answered my question for me. I was going to ask you, as a head of department, how do you keep up the morale of your staff? And you literally answered it. And like, I was new to the country. I had no friends except Liban Ali at that time. I'm thinking, what should I do now? Liban might be busy. What am I going to do? And then Yusuf like, we'll play football come Saturday. Even though we're not in the same department, we're in different sides of the building. We don't even teach the same students at times.
I think that you have to, like you said, it comes naturally. If you have that, you should always think, how would you like to be treated? We were all new here once.
100%.
Unfortunately, when I came here, there wasn't that support. Maybe one or two brothers invited you to football here and there, but not really. It was light-hearted. So I thought, you know what? For the new brothers that do come through, we have to provide that support network. And you're gonna do that with like-minded people. If you're gonna, blend with people, you're gonna do that. And Big Bro, he came through, and seamlessly kind of integrated
Joined,
into the
yeah.
group. And even now, even like you said, he was in a different department. So even maybe throughout the school day, you're not crossing paths as much. But we'd always be close at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What helped him, what Big Bro, obviously he was an ECT at the time and I was the coordinator. So I was then dealing with him professionally as well and helping him to develop professionally.
Yeah.
And I think our relationship personally helped that because we can have those kind of hard discussions without he knows I'm not going to offend him and he's not going to offend me because we're kind of friends like that.
Which is important.
But you have to be able to tell people if you want them to develop, and that's one of my passions is wanting people to develop, whether that's professionally, even football. You guys know when it comes to football as well.
You want to push up.
I want to lead the guys to
100%,
victory.
100%.
So I think with Big Bro, it was we had a good time.
100%.
We had a successful time together. I was upset when Big Bro left, but we did a Mkhitaryan and Alexis Sanchez transfer. I don't know which one's Mkhitaryan and which one's Sanchez.
I'm Sanchez.
Nah, Ahmed was Haaland from Dortmund to City, man. Come on, marquee signing. We were rejoicing when Ahmed joined.
But going back to the ECT conversation, which had, a lot of people when they come from the UK, they come with a lot of ego. That's what I noticed. A lot of these teachers, this is the way I do it. They should do it this way. But then we have a good mentor that you listen to. If you take what he says and you actually do it, your life changes in Qatar. I remember Yusuf told me something about behavior management. He said sometimes the students might be a bit loud, but that's their culture. So you have to be maybe a bit louder, and then you calm them down a little bit, and then you distract them by giving extensions, challenges, because in our school at that moment of time, it's a mixed ability class. So you might be focused in a class that has students that have high ability, but you don't know the other kids, you don't know their level. So you gotta plan accordingly and be ready for that at the same time. Just give them challenges, extensions.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think with one thing that Ahmed I noticed straight away was his ability to build relationships with people, and that obviously with students as well. So I remember when I was observing his first few lessons saying, do you know what? Building relationships is not a problem. Getting the students on side is not a problem.
Yeah.
What you need to do is just manage some of the students. And I think and it's 100% right what you said, people compare teaching in the UK to Qatar.
Yeah.
You obviously have your core principles that you learn in your PGCE or your NQT or your ECT, and you can't forget those, the fundamentals. But you have to adapt to the country that you're working in.
100%.
We're not going to change a whole country's culture.
Yeah.
And as teachers, we have to adapt to the learning needs of our students in front of us. And like you said, you're going to have a mixed ability class. Majority of the time in the UK for core subjects, you've got sets from year 7 pretty much. So that's one of the challenges straight away. Then you've got the EAL aspect as well.
Yeah.
Many of us, when we teach, we've got a teaching voice. You got a teaching voice, yeah?
Oh, sure.
So that teaching voice, that's part of your adaptation.
100%.
You're adapting to the students because, your pronunciation of words, you know how to pronounce them properly.
Yeah.
But to help students get along the way, you need to
break it down a little
bit. So even that is a strategy. But we had many sessions, and one thing I would say about Ahmed, and I've mentored many new staff that have come here, and even in the UK, I was an NQT mentor.
Yeah.
He was like a sponge, which as a mentor, that's exactly what you want. Whatever I said, he never said to me, do you know what, Yusuf, I can't do that. Sometimes when you talk to ECTs, you give them advice, they'll come back with an excuse of why they can't do that.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing I want to hear. I want to hear you say, look, okay, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
And one of the things you'd always say, okay, I'll try that. Come and observe me, let me try that and let me see. And then at the end of the week, he'd come back and say, do you know what, I tried X, Y, and Z. Maybe this worked, maybe this didn't work. What can we do? So, and that's down to your character, because I've seen people not want to do that, not want to come out their comfort zone. And it does get a little bit frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
But that is one of his, I think, his
Strong
biggest
points.
traits. He's very adaptable, you know. And I think,
100%.
like, I've seen him in a lot of different situations, especially obviously as his friend, but
Yes.
also now, you know, as his colleague. We're doing this social media thing together. We've been in different types of rooms, and I've always seen him adapt, you know. And now he's come to my school, and the way he's interacting with certain people. You mentioned earlier about him, you know, being, you know, really good at, you know, cultivating positive relationships. I think that's a massive battle in the classroom. Once you're able to actually do that, you're cultivating like a positive learning environment. I've always said, you know, learning, a student needs to want to learn. They need to want to come to your classroom. So I think it's so important. You see some teachers say, oh, you shouldn't be like that with students. You shouldn't be friendly with students. There's some people that have that mindset, but I genuinely think, especially in the setting we're in, it's so important. That's why he's, you know, really thriving.
It's one of the key principles, building relationships, building trust. When you're going to want students to go the extra mile for you, they're going to do that for someone who they trust, who they've got a relationship with.
That's it.
When you're going to want them to work really hard in preparation for exams, they need to be intrinsically motivated. But if they've got a good relationship with you, and if you can imagine it like a coach, and if you can imagine yourself as the person being coached, and you want to impress your coach, that's the kind of climate for learning that we're trying to create, where they want to impress the teacher, where they really want to go the extra mile. So you can do that in many different ways. You can create competitions out of things within the classroom. But if you have that, and that's one of the things that he created, students would come up to him, Mister, look what I did. Mister, when you've got students doing that, that's how you know you've got a good learning environment within your classroom.
But speaking about the learning environment, also, what I noticed that you two share is high emotional intelligence. For example, I've seen head of departments or the staff members come for support, and they say, "What do you mean you can't do this? How long have you been teaching for? 2 years, 5 years?" And they sort of like belittle the staff member so much that they don't want to come back for advice anymore. And I've seen Ali a few times. Anytime I ask him, even though he's got like a stack of responsibilities, if any member of me, any department asks him a question, he quickly adapts, takes a break, explains everything, off it goes, and before you know it, your whole day changed. Like that adaptability from an emotional intelligence. How do you guys keep up the energy all the time?
That's something I say it's innate for me. I'm still new to the role. I'm still learning. You know, so the way I've sort of adapted to the role is I've, you know, what I was doing as a teacher, I always felt like, okay, I need to at first, you know, I need to be role modeling. I need to be the best I can be, leading by example, you know, and then always having that open door policy, building a sense of community within the department where, you know, people feel that they can always speak to you about anything. If there's an issue, I make it, you know, the utmost, in terms of, it's the top of my priority, you know, to try and get to the bottom of it. And then what happens is naturally the people in your department, in your team, they see that and they want to replicate that and they want to repay that. So when you now ask them for certain things, you'll see that they'll try to do it to the best of their ability. But that's just how I see. I'm still obviously learning. I'm still trying to develop that. But that's just something I've noticed.
It's interesting because if you think about it, usually, especially when schools recruit from within for a head of department, they usually recruit the best teacher. But the best teacher doesn't necessarily have leadership skills and management skills. So like what you just said, you're still learning those leadership and management skills. But you're setting the example as the best teacher within your department. So you're kind of learning on the job. Because you've been promoted. Why? Because you've got excellent practice. You're maybe an outstanding teacher. They're really impressed with you, how you go about your business in the classroom and behind the scenes. But then all of a sudden now you're managing a team, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in your team, different characters, different wants, different needs, different likes. And you have to learn on the job. But if you have basic principles, like if you have a lot of empathy for people's situations, you're going to deal with them. You said earlier about how Hod say, just deal with it. People lack empathy in leadership roles. That's the fastest way to get people to go on to TES in your department. Because if you don't show them empathy and you don't show them that you care, people will leave. And especially in the international context, people will like come away from their families, come away from the comforts of their home. If they see a vibe that they're not feeling, boom, they're gone. And then you've got a problem within your department now where you've got missing member of staff. So it is one of the biggest things that you have to have. You have to care, you have to give time. Just today, I was planning to do something at the end of the day. A member of staff came to me from my department. He's a new member of staff. And he said, Yusuf, I've got this problem. And you have to drop everything because you have to show them that they are important. If he's come to me and said, look, this is the problem. And I've said, you know what, brother, I can't meet with you right now. I'll see you tomorrow. That from that point all the way to the evening to the morning, how's he feeling? He's demotivated. He's disconnected.
100%.
So by giving them that time, by giving that time to vent, by giving that time to explain whatever problems they have, and then your experience allows you to give good advice, especially if you've been in teaching for a while and especially in the country, you're able to give them advice, not necessarily telling them what to do, but giving them options. And then and you're empowering them to make them choose what option they want to do.
That suits them best.
It suits them best, because if no one wants to be micromanaged either. No one wants constantly be told, you need to do this, you need to do this. You want to give them options and then say, okay, this is the one that suits me best. This doesn't. But it's interesting that you bring that up, because unfortunately, I've had staff come from other schools and they've literally left another school because they've said, my head of department made my life hell.
That's a common thing, to be honest.
And I think that especially in teaching, maybe in other industries as well, your main happiness at work or satisfaction at work will come from your direct line manager. And if you've got a good direct line manager, you will be happy in the organization, even if above you things are a bit messy, you don't agree with them. But if you've got a good relationship with your direct line manager, you will be happy. You'll be happy to stay in that job.
100%. But one thing I also noticed, actually, to be fair, as a HOD, let's say, because me and Yusuf now work in the same school. Of course, if
he's part of the department, by the way. He even attends some of our department meetings.
I write the meter minutes in the department. I'm not even there. But one thing I definitely did notice is that other staff understand and are able to see what a good HOD are, regardless of anything, even the students. Because one thing you both touch upon is the trust. So I know for a fact, if I say, for example, Yusuf, I've got this and this and this, can you help me? Or I know that the feedback that I'll be getting is an honest feedback or an honest response that he would do if he was in my position. And a lot of the staff within the school feel that, which is why, of course, you'll usually do that. It's the PDs, you're the one who's leading. But one thing also within the PDs, you actually give chances to other people. He's come up to me saying, listen, I want you to do a PD. I'm like, hold on. I don't think I'm ready. He's like, all right, cool. I'll give you some time. Let me know. So you've got that. You're building the trust and pushing. I'm not in his department. He has no need to come talk to me about any of this. But it's stuff like that, going out of your way to the extended members of the school is what makes it good HOD, I think, as well, which reflects that. So good on you, man.
Hey, tell us about Madders. How's he doing?
Yeah.
You know what? And obviously we had Big Bro for a few years, and we met Madders through Big Bro, coming to football and outside, meeting up, etc. And then when I heard about this loan, this switch, I said, you know what? We're losing Big Bro, but we're getting Madders. So we're losing Lukaku, but we're getting Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. So I'm thinking, you know what? But obviously, you don't know how someone is professionally.
Into Lukaku, by the way.
The swing.
Into Lukaku, the one that when they won the league. Not the United one. Sometimes. But you don't know how someone is professionally. Now, when he arrived, and I've seen him, and like he said, he's taken on advice, asking questions from experienced members of the team. But what I saw with Madders very, very early on, that ability to build relationships, but also very, very, very hard worker. We have an office space where people are working. Whenever you see Madders in there, he's got books in there. He's marking. Whenever he's there, he's doing planning. He's doing something to help his students behind the scenes, whereas you see lots of other staff in their downtime, it's downtime. So one of the things that I've seen with him, and that reflected on grades that you've recently got.
Yeah.
With we had GCSE results come through, outstanding results.
Come on.
With regards
Shout.
to lesson observations that are being carried out by his own HOD, by senior members of staff, getting outstanding.
Come on.
Mashallah,
which
mashallah.
is
Hey.
obviously so.
Allah Mubarak.
So I think that the hard work that he's shown, he's reaping the rewards, and I think that when you do that, especially in this context, the students
Yeah.
acknowledge it. The students respect you more.
Yeah.
They can see the difference between a teacher that is going behind the scenes and working for them and putting in lots of effort in the classroom compared to teachers who are just rocking up, going through the motions and not really having that, work ethic. So to be honest with you, I'm actually surprised and impressed at the same time. I didn't think Madders would have been as good. I thought it'd be like he was at football. Like
I'm going to catch
I'm
this
messing. But surprised and impressed, definitely, with his professionalism and work ethic.
Yeah, how about
good to hear, man.
Mada's saying he's only putting 10% in. He ain't even shown his full form yet.
Another thing that's quite interesting and what impressed me about Madders, when we do CPD sessions, and he alluded to the fact that it's one of my responsibilities, improving the professional development for staff. He's always taking active roles within the sessions. So some staff, they wouldn't necessarily ask questions. He's always asking questions. He always wants to know. So that shows me he's constantly engaged and he cares about his professional development. That in itself needs to be acknowledged, because again, not all teachers are invested in their own professional development, which is a shame, I believe. I think that anything that you do, you want to be the best at it. You want to be the
100%,
best. You want to reach your potential.
Yeah.
100%.
So if people are delivering sessions and they're trying to improve your practice, you should be engaged. You should want to, take part. And the fact that I've asked him to run PDs, that's because he's shown that level of teaching and learning within his lessons.
That's a real testament to his focus. He's an active participant. I've heard some teachers call CPD sleep PD. But hey,
Not naming names. Not naming names.
what advice would you give to a teacher in the UK who was looking to come out to Qatar?
Do it ASAP.
Why is that?
If you look at and you speak to all the people who have come from the UK, the profession in the UK, you don't have as much respect even in the UK as you get out here from the students. The students here, they still have that level of respect for the teacher. But it's not only that. You can look at a number of different reasons, whether it's quality of lifestyle, whether if you look when you finish work at 2:30 or 3 o'clock, depending on what school you're in, some schools finish earlier. You've got the whole day ahead of you. You've got the sunshine, you've got the beaches you can go to. You've got, in the UK, what I felt was in the UK, you're working and you're just going home and the day ends.
Finished.
You go home, maybe you'll go to the gym, maybe you get some food, but your day's done. You're not doing any other activities as such. Whereas here, after work, you can do actual real activities here. Then you've got other issues. You've got lots of other issues. You've got issues of pay, for example. And I know in the UK they've increased teachers' salaries within the last 6 months, but I still don't think it will amount to kind of what you're doing here. But me personally, and I've got lots of students that I taught in the UK that are just finished university and who are becoming teachers and want to come out there. And they're all saying, sir, we want to come out and join you. What do I have to do? And I'm giving them advice behind the scenes, say, look, this is what you need to do. These are the moves you need to make in order to come out here. But more and more people from the UK are going abroad to work. And I think the Middle East is a hub right now.
Hot property right
And
now.
I think Qatar is a place that you have to be a certain type of person to want to come to Qatar rather than go to, say,
Dubai,
Abu
for
Dhabi or
example.
Dubai. I think you have to be a certain type of person to want to go to Dubai as well.
100%.
And we're not firing shots at them because they're just different. For me, having holidayed in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, even in Saudi, I think Qatar suits myself the most in terms of how I operate. I don't know about you guys. Would you consider working in anywhere else in the Middle East?
I generally really like this country. I think it's a slow pace of life. I like the way they uphold the culture.
Definitely.
The way
That's the
they
biggest
uphold Islam, as a Muslim.
100%.
And I just love the core, family centric. So it's very family oriented, So what about yourselves, boys?
But also, as a non-Muslim, you could still enjoy the country.
100%,
There's so much to
100%.
do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beautiful beaches, a lot of expats you could meet with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on.
Safety. A
that's
lot
a big,
of
big
the
thing.
Muslims and non-Muslims I speak to, whether they got families or not, they just talk about the safety. They just talk about how peaceful it is.
Yeah.
I know when I go back to the UK, you have to turn a switch on.
Yeah.
So when you land,
have to be ready.
You have to
zip up
check your corners.
everything, yeah.
You have to be careful because out here you're just relaxed.
Yeah. Autopilot.
Yeah, autopilot.
You leave your car running, you go in the shops, no problem.
100%.
Your door's unlocked, your front door's unlocked, and you can sleep peacefully.
Yeah.
So you can go out late at night if you're going out with your family, whoever it might be, and not feel like any danger.
Yeah, you're not worried.
In a way, and we've had debates with people to say, is that a good thing? Because when you do go back to the UK and other parts of the world, you're kind of relaxed.
too relaxed,
You're relaxed. You're vulnerable. And I feel that sometimes. I feel, boy, in the UK,
You have to constantly remind yourself,
You have to lock in.
it hits me when I go back to Heathrow and I see the people screw facing me.
All the Russia and everyone.
and everyone running.
Yeah.
And I just think, okay, I'm back.
I'm back home now. I'm back home now.
Hit that switch.
I'm back home now.
Be ready.
Now, there's another thing here as well, though. Is the food culture in here?
Oof.
Come on, man. The food here. I think since I've been here, I've added at least good £15. At least.
They call it the Doha pound, yeah?
Doha stone. I came. I don't want to reveal my weight. I'm wearing black back up. I said to Big Bro, I said, it's that blacked out. I don't want to reveal, but I've put on over 10 kg, brother, since I landed to here.
Yeah.
It is, but you know what it is? It's difficult, man. It's difficult. It's difficult because it's at your fingertips. It's all halal, and the range of cuisines.
Different. It's different. I'm telling you.
Hey, you've been here for a while now. What's your favorite food spot in Qatar?
He knows my favorite food spot anyway. Because whenever we say, where we gonna go for breakfast, I can eat at this place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dessert as well, probably at this point. The way he loves it.
And what is this place?
It's in It's in Souk
Allah.
Waqra. And it's Al Fana. And the food there's amazing. If the brothers know about it, if anyone who knows about it, you know innit?
You know about it. Nadeem knows, yeah? They're laughing.
It's not even about how the prices are very reasonable.
Very,
but
very
even if it was expensive, the brothers would be going. You know that. Because the reality is, it's 10 out of 10. Anything having the vibes. You're sat on the beach. You're sat on the beach side. You're looking at the beach and you're just thinking, do you know what? You feel blessed. Alhamdulillah.
We go to that strip a lot. What sort of food is it? Tell the people.
It's Yemeni food, and shout out to the Yemeni brothers out there. You know why? Because
they look after
us very well whenever we go down there, alhamdulillah. But you can get anything. Like for breakfast, you're getting eggs lassa, so you're getting eggs with cheese. You can get the fool with the cheese. That's my favorite.
Full cheese.
Then you can slip in maybe the chicken ogda. Or the, one of the brothers who was out here was there. His favorite. He'd have the meat ogda 10 a.m. The brother's tapped, but I can see though. You can go and have grilled chicken. People go there and have the kidney beans. People can go and have the liver. People have all sorts there.
The tea as well.
The tea, 10-10. But so for me personally, and the people know that, whenever we where do you want to go? I said, brothers, let's just go.
Let's just go there.
Let's
go to the usual.
But hold on. The funny thing is, that place is the reason why I stick on football. Like right in the middle of the session, we'll be playing. We're gonna go to the Yemeni spot today. I'm beating myself.
We finished.
After Saturday football in the morning, so we'll kick ball about 10 o'clock. We'll finish by 11:30. Nice time for brunch. We'll go down there and just relax.
It was nice. We stayed there for a few hours as well. Finish.
Because
you enjoy the breeze, the views.
Take a little walk.
Take a little stroll.
But that place, so Waqra in general, is so beautiful.
Do you know
very
what?
underrated.
It's a hidden gem of Doha. I think because it's out of the way. I lived in Waqra for a few years, so for me it was only like 5-10 minutes down the road for me, so it was fine. but it's a hidden gem. I like it that if it stays hidden, it's good because when you go there and it's too busy, and anyone who knows who goes to Al Farah, sometimes that queue.
Oh, that queue.
When my mother came, I took her there. She's in love with them, man. So it's a special place.
Whenever anyone comes from the UK, that's the first place.
That's
you
where I
start.
met
100%.
you. That's where I met
That's
you.
maybe
That's
the
the first
first-
breakfast spot. You were like, all the boys are going. And that's
It's
why
a
I
place
first
you
met
take because you know when people come, you want to not impress them, but you want to give them
Something
a good
different.
time.
Yeah,
You wanna give them a
yeah,
good time.
yeah.
So it's a nice vibe.
It's a nice spot.
So
And
whenever.
you know what's crazy? It's a thing, it's a routine. When we come, we just sit down. Yusuf, do your thing. He
does
just
the order,
order.
yeah?
He just does the orders, man. I'm not gonna lie. We just
I know what all the brothers like, so I know when certain people are there what they like. He's got a weird order, by the way.
But Ahmed's food selection is
Yeah,
sensational, though.
It's quite broad.
Yeah, he's
so
different.
when he's there, we
You have to stretch
we
out a little.
widen the palette a little bit. Widen the palette a little bit, let's
I
just
gotta
say.
try something different, man.
But it's good vibes, man.
But now that you said all the positives about coming to Qatar, there's a little negative as well. Not about the country, but it depends on the character you are when you're coming here. So, if you're a teacher and you come here and you think, oh, easy life, easy money, I get to chill all the time, it's not like that. Yeah. If you're a lazy teacher, do not come to Qatar.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
You get exposed
And
easy,
I've seen teachers come 3 months in, 3 weeks in. I seen one Donny come 1 day in,
Yeah.
dipped, went
Yeah.
back, didn't feel it.
Why is that, though?
Because like what Big Bro just said, like in terms of they feel that maybe they've got a wrong
different
narrative
idea, yeah.
or a false
Yeah.
impression that you're just going to come for a holiday camp.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not. You have to put in work.
100%.
There's no teachers in this country that have been here for a long time that are not hardworking.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to. If you're going to last, you have to be hardworking.
Yeah.
I think a big thing with that is in the UK as well. Teachers are protected by unions. There's a lot of things
Yeah,
going on.
unions. And
Here
even-
is very corporate. It's very cutthroat. You
Yes.
know, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
side. So if you're slacking, you know, or you're not really, you know,
You're not
performing
about it.
to the levels that you should be, you know, you know what I mean?
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Because look, a lot of this, they're private institutions and like they're corporate. So they're gonna look and the reality is, look, they want to get the best teachers from around the world.
Yeah.
The reason why they select teachers from the UK is because they teach British curriculums
Right.
and they believe that the British teachers are the best of the best.
Yeah.
And when they pick from the tree and sometimes the apple is rotten,
Yeah,
they're like,
100%.
do you know what?
That shit away.
We get another one.
Yeah.
So when you come here, and the advice I would give to anyone that is coming here, think about all the beautiful places that you're going to go and visit.
Yeah.
Think about the lovely vibes that you're going to have and the safety and the security, but be prepared to work
Yeah.
and have that level of professionalism that you want to succeed here. I think you're going to have to go very far to find any teacher here that's not hardworking.
Yeah.
It's a basic core principle that you have to have there.
Not only that, also if you think you could get away with it by just doing outstanding observation lessons, but not really working on the other lessons, it won't work like that.
No,
Because
you'll get exposed.
the kid themselves,
Yeah.
they notice straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, Mister, why am I copying from board all the time? What's this?
Yeah.
Done. The kids,
No.
they're aware, man.
Yeah,
they're
no,
aware.
the kids here, what I like about
Yeah.
them, they can see if you've got pride with what you're doing or not.
100%, yeah.
If you're slacking, they know. If you're winging it, they know.
Yeah.
If you put time in, they know.
Yeah.
And that's when they push themselves.
But
That's when they give you the respect.
If you put into context, like with Qatari students, you know, let's look at, you know, their context. You know, these are individuals. They've got a driver, they've got a nanny. They're essentially they're mini CEOs. You know, they're regulating their lives. So then they come to school now.
Yeah.
That's why I think some teachers that come with a certain attitude sometimes doesn't work, because you have to fully understand where the student is coming from. They may misunderstand, you know, the student.
You know, 100% what you just said. Now, if you can imagine the Qatari student, he's in charge of adults in his house.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a nanny, maybe he's got his own driver. And he's in charge of them.
Yeah.
He's telling them what to do.
Yeah.
So now to come to school and get an adult telling him what to do,
It's difficult.
It's a different dynamic.
It's a different dynamic for him. So you have to build that relationship with them before you get them actually on your side. What happens is a lot of people come from the UK and they think automatically you should listen to me because I'm the teacher.
It's a different culture.
Doesn't work like that. You have to build it. And like you said, whether it's through hard work, whether it's through dedication, whether it's through engaging activities within the classroom, you can earn those students' respect, which when in turn then they'll run through walls for you.
that's it. They'll translate it
the experience that I've had through students here, and you have to imagine a lot of them are millionaires and billionaires. Their families are
Wealthy.
wealthy beyond what we can imagine sometimes.
Yeah.
Mashallah, man, yeah.
Allahumma barak.
Allahumma
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 barak.
barak.
But I've met some of the most hard-working students in this country.
Yeah,
More
100%.
so, and this is some of the debates we have sometimes, is more so than students in the UK that are in deprived areas that you would think in the UK, you're in a deprived area, you need to work hard to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
You got Donnies here who don't need it really.
Yeah.
You know, to get an education, they need to go and do that.
Yeah.
But if they didn't,
They'll be okay.
They're not struggling.
Yeah.
I call them mini Ronaldos, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, mini Ronaldos.
Yeah.
But that in itself gets you thinking.
Yeah.
It has to come from within.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you've got, like I said, people in the UK. You guys would have worked in different settings in the UK. They're not all motivated.
No.
Sometimes you've got students that come from the most deprived areas who are the most demotivated, who are looking for shortcuts, who are looking for plan Bs rather than looking for plan A straight away. So
100%.
I think the Qatari students have to be commended when they are doing that. Because it's a different mentality.
Yeah, it's a different type of challenge for them mentally.
100%.
It's a different one.
And that's why I say mini Ronaldos, you know, like Ronaldo, look at him now, he's 40 years old, you know, he's achieved everything he could. He's a billionaire, you know, he's got a family, he's regarded as the greatest footballer of all time, he's scored the most goals, he's won a bunch of accolades, but you still see him, you know, working hard, trying hard. So what I'm comparing here is these students here, you know, they have to draw upon something deeper to really push themselves to try and achieve something, especially when they essentially have everything, you know. So yeah, it should be definitely commended.
One of the things that when you tap into the student's mindset, and it comes back to this, and it kind of reminds me of myself. When I was younger, I just wanted to make my mum proud.
Yeah.
I didn't know, okay, if I get a good education, it's going to take me here or it's going to take me there. My mum was there. I wanted to make her proud.
Yeah.
And if I knew, okay, if I get good grades in school, she's going to be proud of me. If I go to university, she's going to be proud of me. I didn't have a target when I was 15, 16 that I want to be a teacher. I want to do this. But my fundamental goal was make my mum proud. And that's one of the things that they share here. They want to make their parents proud.
100%.
They will go through walls to make their
Through
parents
thick and
proud.
Through thick and thin.
When you say to a student here, if they've misbehaved, I'm going to call your parents.
What? Please, Mr. No. Wallah, Mr. No. Wallah. Wallah, last time.
Wallah, they
It's
go
true. And they care
Yeah.
because they care about their parents' perception of them.
yeah.
And this comes back to the Islamic roots of having that love, respect for your parents.
Yeah.
So that's something that I found that I share with
That's
them.
interesting as well, because I'm also ECT coordinator, and that's one of the advice
You
I
kept that
share.
one quiet.
Low key bag. But then that's one of the advice I do share, you know, especially when, you know, an ECT has had a difficult class with a student and they're really angry. They want to give that negative call home, and this student is probably problematic in an array of different classes. I said, look, hang back, you know. This student is probably getting 10 different negative phone calls home.
Yeah.
At this point, you know, he's probably, you know, he's used to it now, you know, and that's probably why he's acting out. Give a positive call. Pick out something positive he did that lesson, right?
Yeah.
And watch him come to you tomorrow, and he'll, like you said, he'll run through a wall for you. And 9 times out of 10, it happens. They'll come to you early, be the first one in the class. They'll thank you for calling, because obviously that parent is not used to getting a positive call.
Yep.
They probably went out and brought them the latest stuff, you know, just because of that call. And now that student, he says, you know what, Khalas, that's it. I got you, you know?
100%. And that advice is fantastic. And it reminds me of advice that I give to Ahmed when he was ECT, and we did role playing.
Okay.
Because he said, if you remember,
Act out again,
that
please.
kind of role play. But basically, he was saying he had some difficult conversations with some parents. If you remember, and I said, okay, let's do some role playing in terms of, look, I'm going to be a difficult parent. You be the teacher.
Yeah.
And I was firing shots at this guy, different shots there, and he was just batting them away, pat, 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 pat. So that was
I
a good,
remember this,
it was a good exercise. But one of the things, the advice that I give to the ECTs when talking to parents, you have to sandwich information. So if you're going to give them some negative feedback, which you might have to, sandwich it, say something nice, say something positive in the beginning. Do you know what, Ahmed, do you know what? I can see that normally he's really puts a lot of effort into his presentation in his book and his effort.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Over the last few lessons, I've noticed that he's not with it. He's not trying as much.
Yeah.
And this is going to affect his overall grade. We've got exams coming up. So if he doesn't, but do you know what? I want to work with you and let's support Ahmed together. So you want to get the parents on your side and the parents will love you for it, because what that shows them is, look, they give their children to us as an emana, as a trust.
100%.
So when they see that and they hear that from you, you know what they think? This guy's with me.
Yeah, he
this guy cares about
for
my kid. Do you know what? And they will go, they themselves will say, okay, do you know what, mister? Do whatever you want to my son. You want to say this, say no problem.
Yeah, you got a full 100%.
You got the full 100% trust. And I think that you have to bring the parents on side, especially in this country, especially in this context. Once you do that and the parents are with you, you can get the students
100%.
Yeah.
That's it.
on your, to, like you said, run through brick walls for you almost.
Yeah. But it's crazy. Do you know when you're talking about students and parents, like when I became a teacher, my dad's like, you really want to be a teacher? So I'm like, yeah, why not? I think I do. I think I'll be good at it. So it reminded me of that, because my dad was one of the ones who will come to every single parent's evening. And you're thinking, Dad, man, please miss one. And you see your friends all about themselves and you ignore them. So there was one parent that I had to speak to one time in our school now, actually. And then as I was speaking to him, I was thinking of myself in the kid's shoes.
Oof.
You get? I was thinking, because it wasn't a good thing that I needed.
It was a bit of a peak one, yeah.
Yeah, it was just before the exams now for the chemistry. We had 4 weeks to go. So that's when I was thinking, if I say madness now, this kid's going to get killed. He might not even turn up to the actual exam. He'll be dead. So that's when I think I spoke to you, or I'm going down, like, how do I go about this? Because it's quite serious. And that's when he gave me that proper advice. And I went down, we had a good conversation. The father was like, listen, here's my number. Keep contact. Everything you send him, let me know, just in case he doesn't show me. So we built that trust. Alhamdulillah, the kids passed. So well done for passing. And his dad literally, as soon as grade day, he gave me a call. I was in lesson. I'm thinking, why is his dad calling me? So I called him in break time. He was proper happy. He was like, thankful. He was like, that
good.
conversation.
Nice,
well, I was a
Mashallah, that's
proper,
good, man.
humbling conversation.
It makes it worthwhile. It makes it worthwhile
definitely.
when you have those
It's
conversations, when you see students succeeding.
That's it.
It does make
It's
it worthwhile.
important. But no, one thing actually, you've been here 6 years. You've been as HOD. You've been HOD for 3 years now.
It's been one, but okay.
Has it won? Yeah.
It seems like
I'll take that.
It seems
level
like
of
the way
elegance
you're
that he
carrying
speaks.
yourself. Yeah.
It's
How's it now? Because you guys do the recruiting process of what?
Oh.
Okay. So what, especially for you from your side, what's the difference you've seen 6 years ago, or when you've come as become a HOD to now?
I'll be honest with you, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about advice for teachers coming from the UK. 6 years ago, when we were recruiting staff, I'd have maybe 5-6 applications to review, to look at, and then to whittle down to kind of who I want to interview, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Just summer just gone, we had some vacancies. I had nearly 100 applications.
Wow.
So you can see now Qatar is becoming a really desirable place for teachers to come.
Yeah.
So I've had nearly 100 applications to look at, to whittle down to say 5 that I want to interview for 2 positions.
Yeah.
So I've seen that just with the numbers.
Yeah.
Just with the numbers, just the amount of people. Another trend that I've seen is people qualifying in the UK, not doing their ECT and coming straight out here.
Yeah.
Now that you can do your ECT out here and gain those qualifications, people are getting their PGCE and just coming straight out.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case 6 years ago either.
yeah.
6 years ago, you'd have people who'd had a few years teaching experience and then thought, okay, I'm going to come.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's conscious by the schools that they're taking ECTs, or whether it's by design in terms of the people coming themselves, that's a new trend as well.
So there's high demand now for
High
teachers
demand,
in Qatar.
high demand, and I think that it's again to do with the lifestyle, to
Yeah.
do with variable factors in the UK for teachers as well.
Yeah.
There's many different reasons why teachers are becoming unsatisfied in the UK,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But it's a much more desirable place to come to now, especially I think post the World Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
The so many positive messages came from after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Everyone who came had so many good things to say about the country.
Yeah.
And I think that's helped people not only within the education sector, lots of different industries now. It's a more desirable place to come to live. So
Yeah.
so going back to your question, if you do want to apply, definitely you have to do that, and you have to be serious about your applications as well, because it's very competitive now, the market.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
We got to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
I feel like we just scratched the surface, you know.
Definitely.
So inshallah we'll do it again. But hey guys, that's it. That's that episode. Please do let us know if you do have any questions regarding teaching. Please do subscribe to Via Arabia. We've got some crazy content on the way. And yeah, take care.
Perfect.